Welcome into the Moritz Fieldhouse for the final edition for 2025 of First and 10 with Rams head football coach Brad Sherrod. I'm Jimmy the St. Christopher. A couple of weeks ago, the Rams went down up in Iowa to William Penn 38-9 in the first round of the NAIA playoffs. Coach, how much did the opening Statesman touchdown drive set the tone for that game?
Well, the way that happened and miscues of turnovers early on kind of set us back a little bit. But I thought our kids played hard and they fought, so that didn't deter them from what our goal was.
Rams had 2 fumbles lost, 4 picks by William Penn. Rams total yards of 190, 102 of that passing and running. Did their defense do more than what you expected, both to your offense?
To do a good job there. And really what they did on defense is for their defense back, they just kind of sat back and let everything, try to catch it in front of them and not get beat over the top, which they didn't. So it's kind of what we thought when going into the game, but you just can't turn the ball over 6 times and expect to win the ball game. And then on the flip of that, we only got 3 turnovers ourselves. And even though we had some 4th down stops, you just cannot have that. And we didn't have the explosive plays that we needed on offense, and defensively we gave up 2 explosive plays for touchdowns. So, you can't win ball games that way. And that's something that recruiting is going to have to help us get fixed, along with some other things, paying attention to the details.
And Destin Loring, the running back for the Statesman, 192 yards, 4 TDs. Where does that rank for the last couple of years for rushing attacks, for amounts of yards that you've given up? How does that rank?
Well, that's not good. You never want to give up 190 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. Like I said, 2 of those probably came on 2 30-yard plus runs, just misfits and guys not being in the right place to make a tackle. So you never want to do that. And going into the game, we talk about stopping the run and being able to run the football. And we didn't do either one of those. And some of that is, I don't think it was scheme heavy. I think it was more guys missing tackles, or not fitting the run up properly. So that's something that we can get fixed. But once again, the things we talk about doing to win the ball game, we just didn't do, right? We didn't stop the run. We didn't run the ball. We lost the turnover battle. I thought 3rd downs, I thought we were pretty good on 3rd downs. And we weren't we weren't great on special teams. So those things play a factor. And going back to the explosive plays, we weren't great there. So that's how you win ball games. And we just didn't do enough of those things.
And what other positives did you see on offense, defense, and special teams?
Well, it was good to see us, continue the battle. I thought defensively, other than those 2 explosive runs, I thought our kids played hard. We did get in there and we matched up with them well. I thought our strength started to show early on, especially our D-line up front, just from the strength work we did. We changed our strength program, so I could see a difference there. So that's a positive. But we just need to continue to keep making plays and not allowing those explosive plays to put us on our heels. And offensively, we just can't turn the ball over. I thought if we didn't do those things and we took advantage of what they were giving us, and we didn't do that either, just putting the ball and taking the little short 5-yard passes and letting them turn it up and get 3 or 4 more yards, that have kept us on schedule for the 3rd downs. So that's something that our players are going to have to learn. Just take what they give us and be consistent with it and be patient with that. And as long as we had done that, I think we would have had some success there.
I think you pretty much summed up my next question. I was going to say sum up the 7-5 overall, 7-1 in the SAC season.
Yeah, we're happy that we shared a conference championship. We'd like to win that outright. Didn't take care of our business against Ottawa and making it to the playoffs. That's always the goal every year, is to get into the playoffs. Now, the next goal is to get to the playoffs and win a round, right? And then continue to keep going from there. But be honest with you, what we did was we left our fate in someone else's hands. And I never want to be in that situation where we're doing it. I'm not saying we're not happy to represent the Sooner Conference and in the playoffs. We're happy to get there. We're extremely excited about getting there. But we need to make sure we can control, when we can have a chance to control our own destiny, we need to do that. And we kind of let somebody else have to win and someone else had to lose for us to get there. But I am proud of the way our kids took care of their business to put us in that situation. Because after the Ottawa game, they could have easily tanked it. And they didn't. They knew how important that Wesleyan game was for us to even have that opportunity. So they stayed focused. They took care of business there to give us that opportunity in case things worked out our way that we could get into the playoffs. And they did. So I give our guys credit for that, for working and just staying focused on that and controlling what they could control. And once that happened, all the other things fell into place.
You told me at the beginning of the season, style, toughness, discipline, and efficiency were 4 of the traits that you like to see in your teams. Did you see all 4 of those this year?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I thought all year, we played, other than the first game against Lindsey Wilson, but I thought overall, every game, man, we got better and we played physical, we played tough, we found a way to run the football, we found a way to stop it. And then we had some young guys on offense. You got to think, we probably had about 5 or 6 freshmen that were starting for us or playing for us at one time. So that's a positive. All those guys are going to come back and they'll get better and we'll continue to keep adding to the roster. So we have a chance to be pretty good. But I did see the things that I wanted to see. And like I said, and even in the playoff game, I saw the strength there. I saw that we were stronger. We could handle their big guys as much as our guys were. And I thought we did a great job of knocking them back. So it was a positive for us. But like I said, I think the attention to details of how you go about winning in those critical games and those big games, we have to be able, we can't turn the ball over. We have to stop the run, right? And if you go back and look at every game that we lost, out of those 5, I would say 3 of those we had a chance to come back and win. Lindsey Wilson kind of jumped on us early. UTRGV kind of outmanned us as it went on. But those other 3 games, we had a chance to win those games. And that's a positive for us because those are good football teams we lost to. But we need to learn how to win those games. And that comes down to the details of taking care of business, staying on track on offense, and getting off the field on defense.
A whole boatload of Rams were named all Sooner Athletic Conference team members, first team, honorable mention, second team, on offense, defense, special teams. We'll take a look at those and we'll look ahead to 2026 after this word from our friends at NBT.
We are Texas Wesleyan University, serving Fort Worth since 1890.
And we are NBT Financial Bank, serving North Texas since 1973.
We provide customized degree programs to help you succeed in today's market.
And we provide personalized service and financial tools to help you grow your business and your accounts.
We believe in smaller, smarter.
And we believe in exceeding expectations. NBT and Texas Wesleyan, 2 Fort Worth traditions, teaming up
to build tomorrow's leaders.
Welcome back to First and 10. As we teased, 16 Rams were selected to the All Sooner Athletic Conference teams, either first team, honorable mention, some second team guys. Check it out at ramsports.net because take up all day listing their position and all the names. So congratulations to all those guys. Coach, who are the leaders or MVPs on your team, both in offense and defense?
Well, I think Daniel Bogan and Jordan Crawford did a heck of a job up front for us, and that really was the difference for us this year. That was our best unit, and they brought it every week and did exactly what they were supposed to do up front. And to me, I think that kind of set the tone for us as a defense. And I don't want to just pick out those 2 guys. I thought Sir Hill did a great job of he was an all-conference player. And he did a heck of a job of leading a young group of linebackers. We lost some guys right before the season, and he was the only veteran coming back at that point when it was supposed to be 2, and he did a great job of leading those guys. And then you had, Dalen Rogers, doing a heck of a job back on the back end and communicating and getting everyone lined up back there as well. And then, of course, having Jaden Jones, Jaden did a heck of a job of just being a playmaker, making some plays for us when we needed it. And there's a host of guys that came through and did some good stuff for us too. As we went through the thing. Offensively, I want to say that Cole stepped in and did a heck of a job. When Carson went down and to step in and do the job that he did, I want to say he led us to maybe 6 wins or 5 wins, 5 straight wins, helped us win 5 straight games. Did a heck of a job. And I said, for what we needed at that time, he came in and did it for us. And I'll always be grateful for that and what he did for us there. But our offensive line, with Cedric Malone and Ogden did a heck of a job up front. Because we had some young guys there too. Even though we were a little bit older there, we were trying to blend in some younger guys there. And, Cedric made first team and Ogden made second team. But and Ronnie Snyder, I thought our receiver core was a mixture of guys who's just kind of trying to help and do what they can do, what their job was. And we got some young kids there I think going to be special if we can just stay together there. So we got a chance. And I'm so proud of those guys that had the opportunity to represent us, then going to represent the Sooner Conference, knowing we have some talent on this team. The big goal now is to replace that, and we got to do a very good job of that because the expectations are high. I want them to be high. That's why we came here. We came here to win championships, on and off the field. I want our kids to graduate, but we want to win championships too. And I'm not afraid to say that, and I'm not embarrassed to say that. I think there's been a big commitment from our administration to do that and to give us the facilities and the resources we need to be successful. And we need to make sure we do a great job of replacing those guys. And it's going to be hard to do. It's hard to replace those guys and that production. Last year we lost Ernest Caesar and Michael Banks and A.J. Bob. We lost those guys. And I didn't know if we had the replace that production, but I think everybody stepped in. We kind of spread it out from the running backs to the receivers and the quarterbacks. They all did their part to kind of make that up and to give us some success.
And this year the Rams lose, most notably on defense. They'll sustain some losses. But speaking of which, nice segue into recruiting. Recruiting never ends for you and your staff. But what areas do you think need to be heavily recruited this year?
Well, I was just out in the Fort Worth area, and this is a very rich, talented area here. And we need to do a good job here in Fort Worth and in Tarrant County. And we are. We're going to make sure we hit every school and make sure they know who we are and try to get those kids over here. And then we'll branch out from there. And, of course, Dallas and then Houston will be down there as well. So we're going to look for talent and try to get the best talent in here and that can give us a chance to be successful. And that's going to be some guys in transfers that might transfer in here like we had last year that can possibly help us in some key situations. We don't take a bunch of them, but we take them in some key spots that we need some immediate help. But I'm really excited about our younger guys and that we have on this team. And like I said, if we can keep those guys together, keep them here, I think we have a chance to be pretty special because I think they're pretty special. And they love football and they love school and, we don't have to talk to them about doing those things. And to me, that's a plus.
Would you do any recruiting outside the state of Texas?
Well, we'll look, we'll do some JUCO stuff out in California, maybe Mississippi. But Louisiana, with my defensive coordinator being from, Coach Drago being from Louisiana, he has some connections over there. That'd be a good opportunity for us to go over there and look for some kids, and not a bunch of them, but some key spots, but we want to take advantage of the resources that we have here at the university. It's going to help a lot of kids in the state here. And get out to East Texas. There's a lot of great talent out there as well. So we just got to make sure, only have 7 coaches and we're all out there recruiting right now, including myself. So we just need to make sure that we bring back as many guys as we can and hopefully give them a good package that makes them say they want to come here.
What positions would you target?
We target all of them because you got to think we're losing Dalen on the back end and Javari Sanders. So we definitely got to replace those two. And I'm going to say we probably need to go get 3 or 4 defensive backs. The defensive line, for sure, we lost 2 good starters up there. We think we got some young kids coming back that's going to be pretty special, but we need to replace that. So really every position, and linebacker is extremely important for us. We need to gain some more depth there.
I know a couple of weeks ago you talked about scheduling. I think you have the non-conference schedule set. Is that set for next year?
It's not. We got one out-of-conference game right now, or 2. We're playing McNeese State, and then we're playing Mary Harlan Baylor again. So, it'll be 2 good contests for us. And, financial reasons why we play McNeese, yes, sure, no doubt. But it's also for our players and the recruits. I want them to know that we're going to go out there and play some Division I talent and give themselves a chance to go out there and prove that they can play against that type of talent. Our expectation is to go in there and win like every game. I'm not expecting to go in there and get beat. I'm expecting us to go in there and win. If we play well and do what we're supposed to do, you never know what could happen. So, we have those 2 games. We're still looking for a couple more games to play in home games.
So speaking of which, the home games now, this year was kind of light on the home schedule. Will that flip next year and be more home games?
Well, a little bit more conference, but still it's about the out of conference. I'm trying to get more out of conference. Now, Mary Harlan Baylor come here, of course. But it's really, and there's a lot of teams out there looking for the same thing. They're looking for They're looking for an opponent, but they're looking for home opponents, and they want to do a home and home series. And I'm trying to get them to come here first. So just like we did with Lindsey Wilson, they came to us first, and then the next year we went up there. This past year we went up there. So we have to travel a little bit more. To be honest with you, like we can't find any, like even D3. Some D3s won't play us, and or don't want to play us, and so that makes us have to look a little bit further to go, and which stretches our budget. But I think it's fair to the kids. Try to get as many games as we can possibly get to give ourselves the best chance. And I think what you saw in the selection, although Ottawa had a heck of a season, they were only playing 9 games, and I think that hurt them. So us being able to play 10 or 11 games, and really like to get to 11, that would help us. And I still want to schedule tough opponents. I don't want to schedule anybody that's just going to be just a win, and that's really interesting to do that. But we need to, if we talk about playing on a national level, then we need to play some really good football teams to kind of test where we are and kind of show our kids what it means to be at that level. And we need to show up. So we'll see what happens.
How about the new stadium, the Karen Kramer Stadium? Any word on digging of dirt?
Well, no, not really. I believe either at the end of the month or in January it's going to start up and the construction will start. So I think all the pieces are there and all the paperwork has been signed to get that going. So hopefully we start to see some, I guess, bulldozers out there or something, drilling or something, digging and get something going here, hopefully by the end of the month or early January.
Now, if the stadium isn't completed by next football season, would you play most of the season or the beginning of the season at Crowley?
We're going to play every game at Crowley right now. If the stadium's done by the end of our last home game, I think it's sometime in November. If it's done by that time, then we will try to at least get that one last game here on campus.
And our final segment, which has been this year and Coach's second year here as head coach of the Rams, getting to know Coach Brad Sherrod. It's the holiday season. So what was your best Christmas gift growing up?
My best Christmas gift growing up? I don't know. Wow. God, I had so many different, and I get, back then you got 2 or 3 gifts. You thought you got a lot of things.
Right.
Yeah, but, I was a big Star Trek guy, Battlestar Galactica guy. So my mom and dad would always get me some kind of replica spacecraft. And those things were always fun as a little kid growing up. Of course, I never cared about the clothes they were always giving me, but that kind of stuff I really like. And I tell you the best gift I got, just thinking about it, my dad got me a go-kart one Christmas. Yeah. And
wow.
That was fun. I still have it.
Wow.
And, I still have it. And he got me a go-kart, and I rode that thing around the neighborhood.
Wow.
crashed it a couple times.
Did you have insurance on it?
Flipped it a couple times. No, I don't know. I'm surprised I'm still here after flipping over a couple times. But
Man.
that was probably the best gift that I can remember.
How old were you when you got that?
Gosh, I had to be 8, 10, or 12 years old, yeah.
The reckless 10-year-old around the neighborhood. And of course, New Year's coming up after Christmas, a week after. What would be both personal and professional resolutions for 2026?
Well, definitely always be, a better husband, a better father. Definitely want to always spend more time with my family, but also be a better coach and do a great job representing this university. And those things are important to me. That's kind of where I am. Other than my religious life and being a better Christian, but those things are my personal, my professional life that I want to try to get accomplished and do more for this place and do more for our players here that are currently here, the new ones that we will bring in. And I just pray that we can get some support, financial support from people to help our kids. And to me, it's important to kind of have some kind of bridge there between what they owe and kind of give them a little help, not to pay for everything, but just give them a little help to make it a little bit more feasible for them to make it. And to me, that's the goal. I'm going to find a way to help these kids so they can get a college education. And going out today, send a bunch of kids today, I want to help them. I want to help them as much as we can help them and bridge that gap for them so they can get a college education, so they can walk off with minimum debt. And, that's what I try to do for my kids. And I want to try to do this for these guys we have here and the recruits we have.
Fabulous. Santa Brad. It's a season of giving all year round here at Texas Wesleyan. So give to Texas Wesleyan. Anyway.
Please.
good luck on recruiting, and it's my pleasure to do both these seasons. I'm looking forward to next year because football is just too damn short. You're always looking for the end of the season already. You're always looking for
right?
spring game and whatever, and that'll be along pretty soon. But
yeah.
Congrats on this season, winning the SAC. Good luck on the recruiting trail.
I appreciate it. Thank you for everything you do, and Jimmy and James, thank you for everything you do, and Kenneth, thank you. I appreciate you guys putting this program together and getting it out to the people.
And Mr. Red Raider college football, Aaron Marquardt, can't forget him.
I'm sorry. I thought I said Aaron.
So for Coach Sherrod and all his staff, everybody mentioned Kenneth Flowers, James McBride, Aaron Marquardt, Ricky Dotson, everybody at Texas Wesleyan, Jimmy the St. Christopher saying, happy holidays, have a cool Yule, and keep those Rams up. Adios.